on Instagram, and I'm here to teach you guys about engagement, or like basically what's worked for me in my engagement and like growing my account. I don't know if like Erin or Emily has kind of like talked to you guys about my like stats or anything, but in the past like 4 weeks, I think I've gained like 1,300 followers, and then my engagement rate is like 27% or something like that. So yeah, so I'm just gonna basically go over like what I do or what I did to get to that point. So one of the big things for engagement is like your engagement is key. So what that means is like you want to put your name as many places as possible. So comment on like other people's engagement or other people's posts and stuff like that. And you don't have to like spend hours doing this, but time is a big factor in getting like the most out of your engagement. So I use the app Unum. It's UNUM. I use that, and it tells you the best time to post, the best time like when all your other followers are on. And then it also tells you like your best hashtags. So that is really helpful. So basically what I do is I'll post a photo, and then I'll spend the next hour or two engaging with other accounts. And instead of going to like the explore page and doing it, I like to go to like my feed, and I find like one of my friends' photos, someone who has like the same kind of niche as me. Like I'm into like nature and travel, so I'll comment on one of my friends' photos, and then in their comments I'll find a person to go to their profile, and then I'll comment on their photos, find a person in those comments, and it's like basically like a rabbit hole of engagement. So you just go and you just like, I literally do it for like an hour, just go to each person's comments, find someone in their comments, and then just keep doing that over and over, because those people are more likely to like your account if they see that someone that they're following is like following you, or it's the same kind of like niche as them. Like they're more likely to comment and engage on your posts. And then also, what was I gonna say? I lost my train of thought. Yeah, I lost my train of thought where I was going with that. But anyway, yeah, just like go to like comments and engage with people who are more likely to engage with you. Oh yeah, I remember what I was going to say now. I typically do it with people who have the same number of following as me. So I don't do it with like bigger accounts, because they're less likely to engage back with you. So I do like the same amount of following or lower is typically like where I stay. And then also with your comments, like be real. Like don't just comment, oh, that's amazing, great photo. Like if you want to like stand out on this app, right? Like you want people to go to your profile and click on your photos and everything. So if somebody like writes a long caption, read their caption and like add to it. Don't just be like beautiful photo, like great photo, because there's so many people who are doing that already. Like you're not going to stand out if you're just commenting like generic type captions. So yeah, definitely like be real with it. Like just, add your opinion or ask questions, or even Emily brought this up the other day, which I didn't think of before, but if somebody else like makes a comment, and add to their comment, even like instead of just adding like your own comment, like read through the comments and find someone and like add to their comment, so you can like start a conversation. And then another thing that I want to talk about is photos. Obviously, that's like a big factor in Instagram. It's like the only thing. So that post photos that are going to like stand out. And the algorithm like really likes faces. They like words, bright colors, photos that look like they have like a powerful message. So don't like, a lot of people post photos of like them standing, the back of their head standing at like the top of a mountain and stuff, but there's like so many people doing that now that that's not gonna like stand out anymore, like the epic travel photos. So that's why a lot of people are like struggling with the algorithm and engagement and everything, because like so many people are posting the same types of things. But one way to like stand out is to utilize the one thing that nobody else has, which is like you, like your face, you, like nobody has the same perspective, life experiences, style, travel, personality. Like you are unique, so utilize that. Like that's your way to stand out. So that's going to bring me to like your captions. A lot of people also do like one-liner captions, which is like not good for the algorithm if you're just posting like a one-liner. A lot of people, they'll just like read that and then move on, like there's nothing that they can really like add to. And also with captions, like the algorithm tracks how long someone is like on your post. So if they're reading a long caption as opposed to like a one-liner, you're gonna like that algorithm's gonna show more people that photo, because it's gonna see that people are spending a long time like just looking at your photo. So like get personal with your captions. And I know like that can be difficult for a lot of people. Like that was super difficult for me to like start doing, but like that's what Instagram likes right now. Like that's what's in, that's the trend. Like, so get personal, like talk about just like life experiences or like anything that can like start up a conversation with people, or stuff like that. Let's see, I have like these notes here so I don't forget anything. So yeah, so if you find that like your engagement's like not growing, it's probably because your captions are like too generic. So like provide like information, knowledge, like anything that you can just like talk about, like that's really going to help. And then the last thing that I wanted to talk about was just like extra little tips. So like I said, like your engagement is key. Like that's a big factor into like the algorithm's going to show more people your stuff if they see that you're engaging a lot. So answer your DMs with like voice memos, like answer any questions that anyone ever asked you in your DMs. Like don't just leave your DMs like open and unread. You're building a network. You're not like cultivating a museum to like rake in compliments. Like you're making connections with people. And like brands, if you guys are like wanting to work with brands, they want to see that you're engaged with your audience and that they like are interested in what you're saying, you know, it's not just like another random picture or anything. Like they want to see that your audience is like likes what you post and is actually interested in like what you're saying and all that good stuff. So I feel like another big point too is like you should, if you like want to do this for a business, like you should invest in it like it is a business. So like buy a camera or hire a photographer to like take good photos, because brands, like they're not going to want your shitty iPhone photos, like not to be like rude or anything, but you know, brands, they're going to want like good quality photos and they need to see that on your feed. Otherwise they're going to see like crappy photos. They're not going to want to work with you because they want to repost what you create. So they're going to want like good content. But that's pretty much everything that I had to go over today. I hope that was helpful. And if you guys like have any questions, like I don't know how you want to do this, but I'm like down to answer questions or anything like that. Nope, I can't hear you. Oh, there you go. Wait.
Okay, now you can hear me?
Yeah.
I don't know why that just muted it on its own. Okay. Yeah, if anyone has any questions, I feel like I had one, but I can't think of it right now. Do you have any tips on arranging your feed? How it looks, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, so basically I find like what works for me is having like a consistency of colors. Like, so mine right now, I have a lot of blues and like oranges and greens. And so I like to like space them out so that they're not like two blues like aren't next to each other. Like I like a blue here, a blue down here, and like a blue down here, and like all of them spaced out. That's like how I do it. And then also I kind of do it with like what the photos are, I guess. So if it's like a photo of my face, the next photo is not going to be a photo of my face. Like it's going to be something different, just to like break it up. So it's not, I feel like when things are like next to each other and they look too much alike, I feel like that kind of, I don't know, makes it look like a big clump here, whereas like spread out looks a little bit better.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Thank you. Anybody else have any other questions?
Yes. What is your tips on IGTV? Do you use it? Do you know what works best?
I actually don't use IGTV. I haven't. I've been thinking about it, but I know that like it probably does help. Like the more stuff you put out there, the more people are going to see, and like they like brands and the algorithm on Instagram want to see that you're like on there a lot and not just like once a week or like every other week or something like that. They want to see that like you are invested in the time that you spend on there. So I would definitely, if that's something that you want to do, I definitely recommend it. I don't have any tips on like what works best for that, just because like I haven't done it. But I mean, yeah, the best way to do something is to just give it a shot and see what works best for you. Like it's going to take time, but yeah, it's just about starting it.
Yeah, I heard that the algorithm, oh, sorry, Alicia. Were you gonna say something?
Oh, that's okay.
Okay. I heard that the algorithm likes when you use like all of its features, because the explore page actually only shows the explore page shows like 50-50 of photos and videos, but most like 80% of users only post photos. So if you post videos as well, you're more likely to show up on the explore page because there's less people to pick out of. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But I haven't used IGTV either yet, so I don't know.
I have actually been using it like 8 videos, and I've done like different stuff. Like the other day, I just posted like a yoga video with some music, and that's good engagement. And then sometimes I do like a value video, and that also, just like switching it up. But I agree that if you have it available, it's probably more likely to get discovered.
Yeah.
My last question I was gonna ask was, what do you do for stories? Like, how do you engage with your audience? You kind of just make it personal. Do you ask for what kind of content do you post on your stories?
So for the stories, you brought up a really good question. For stories, they like obviously, like I said, the algorithm likes to see that you're engaging with like your audience and everything. A good way to do that is by posting like polls or the questions or anything that the audience can like click on and manipulate is good. So that's really good. And yeah, like personal stuff's like really the trend right now on Instagram. Like not just like generic basic photos and stuff anymore. Like I think being like personal and being open, even though it's can be like difficult, is really like what is in right now. If that makes sense. And plus too, like I think I've like I've definitely made a lot of connections and like actual relationships with people since I started opening up, and I've made like a whole group of friends that like I've never met in person, but I feel like I can like tell them anything now, that like they know me and they like know that I'm like a real person and not just posting like generic like one-liner quotes or something like that. Like I'm a real person behind the photos, and they see that, and I think that's like a really rewarding thing.
Totally.
Sierra, Rachel, do you guys have any questions?
Is it equally as important to engage with other people's stories too? Because like sometimes I just click through people's stories and I don't like write them a message, or like, you know, I just snoop.
Yeah.
So is it like equally as important to like comment on that, or like press a heart button, or like, you know, when you're doing the engagement stuff to other people?
Yeah, I think so. I always try. I know like it's super easy to just like click through, like click, like see what people are up to. But yeah, I would say if they have an option for you to like vote something or like move that little like slider, like I would definitely suggest doing that. And then if somebody like post something on their story that you like or you think is like cute or funny, or you just like, you know how you can like send a little reaction? Like I do that a lot. I think that helps. Or even just like writing them a message and being like, yes, like I can resonate with that. Like if they post like a motivational like quote or something, like I definitely think that helps a lot.
Okay, cool. My Instagram is still like brand new and I only have like 70 followers. So I would assume that it would be okay to engage with people with a higher following than that, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool. Those are only 2 questions.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. When I'm like creeping on your Instagram right now, and looking at like the numbers of comments and stuff that you have on your posts, like, is that all organic, or are you in like a group or anything where like a pod or something where other people are engaging with it, like to start, and then from there, obviously when people see other people comment, I know that then they feel like it's okay to comment, and then obviously the engagement grows more. But are you like in a pod or anything for your Instagram?
Yes. Yeah, I'm in a few pods actually. I think like 2 of them are completely full. And then there's others, like I'm in one that has like 5 people in it. But I definitely think like I've heard that Instagram shuts those down, but I've never like been shut down in a pod. Like I don't know if that's just a rumor going around, but I definitely think it's a good way to, 1, make connections with people, and 2, just increase your engagement.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I'm definitely for pods.
And then I've noticed like, so I've been going through like people's Instagrams that follow pages that are like similar to what I post and what I talk about and stuff. And then I'll go through and like a bunch of their photos at one time and like comment some stuff. And then I'll notice that they'll just like all my photos back, but they won't follow me back. So I'm wondering if that's because like I have, I don't know, like almost 4,300 followers on Instagram, which obviously is nothing in compared to like what these huge accounts have. But I'm wondering if that's because of like the number of followers on my page, and if that kind of like strays them away from like not wanting to follow because it's like, oh well, they don't have a big following sort of thing. Because like my captions are definitely detailed and long and like say all the shit. So like very personal, and like, you know, it's just about like what I promote. So I don't know, it's just interesting to see, because like two years ago or so, I like really started to try to grow my Instagram, and I worked with like this service that like went in and followed a bunch of accounts and like blah blah blah, did the whole thing, and then from there like my engagement shot up, and like the likes on my photo and comments on my photo were like insane, and then like my following grew a lot, and then I ended it, and then it kind of stayed pretty good and then plateaued. And then, you know, since the algorithm for Instagram is like changing so consistently now, like I'll look at my picture, like today I posted a picture and I have fucking 95 likes on it, which like whatever, it doesn't matter. But it's just like the numbers just fluctuate so much, where like I'll have other ones and it's like over 1,000, and then one that I posted 7 hours ago and has 95 likes. So it's like it makes no sense, and it's really frustrating.
Yeah, right. How often like do you post?
Almost every day. Like there'll be like little spurts in between. Like for the past few weeks I've been posting like, I don't know, maybe on average like 4 or 5 times a week. Like some days I don't, but then I'll make sure I like do stuff on my story if I'm not doing like an actual post, so I'm still like, you know, being active on my account.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it is better to like not post every day. So I didn't know if you were doing that or not, but I think like when you do post every day, like you're fighting with your own photos to be like shown.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. When you comment like stuff, do you comment like the generic, like, oh, that's so pretty, like that's a pretty photo?
Some comments are generic, and then sometimes not. It depends on like what the people are posting that, you know, whose feed I'm looking at. So like it's half and half, but
yeah. And then 2, like one thing that like bugs me is when somebody like completely like blows up my feed, and they like go through and they like 20 photos and comment on like I don't know, 4 or 5 different things, and then like my whole thing is just filled up with them. I found for like me, I typically will like, I'll like 2 photos, and then I'll comment on the 3rd photo, and then I'll like 3 photos, and then maybe I'll comment on like the 4th one, like if I really like enjoy their feed. But I feel like that's what's worked best for me, because I used to go through and I used to just like their photos or like a bunch of photos, and that didn't really work. And then I went through and I would like 2 photos and comment on like 1 photo, and I found that people didn't really respond to that either. But now that I like kind of have this like groove where I'll like 2 photos, and then I also, it's weird, I'll like 2 photos, and then I'll comment on their like most recent photo, because I found that like when I do that, they're more likely to go comment on like my most recent photo. So yeah, I'll like 2 photos and go back to their top, comment on the first photo, and then I'll go and like 3 more photos, and then maybe comment again. But I don't know, try to keep it in that range, I guess. That's like what's worked for me. But yeah.
You can also repost your photo on your story. I know some people, there's like mixed reviews about that. Like some people think it looks like corny or like thirsty. But like because of the algorithm.
Yeah, sometimes you don't know.
Yeah, exactly. And like Chas was saying, like you're fighting with your own photos. If you just posted the last time and that photo got 1,000 likes, then Instagram is like, wow, like this photo is doing way better than the one she just posted. Let me keep showing that one still. So they might not even be seeing that photo at all.
Yeah.
They still might be seeing your one from the other day because it was doing well. So if you just remind your followers, because a lot of people will watch stories more than they will like that's like the first thing a lot of people go to now.
Yeah.
They go to stories. Especially if you're like going and engaging with people, and then they see you have a story up when they go and look at your profile because you like engaged with them. Like if you have a story up, then like they're gonna check you out and like see what you're up to. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah. And then too, are you like going to the explore page and commenting and finding people through that?
Not like regularly. I'll just kind of like browse through it and like do a swipe and then like on to the next thing. Like I don't normally look at it.
I was gonna say, because like I used to do the explore page, and I found like for some reason I wouldn't get a lot of people following me back when I would do that. But like when I do like my friends comment, like what I was talking about like in the beginning with like my friends' comments, and then I'll go to their comments and like keep just going and finding like people through that. That's helped me a lot instead of just like finding people on the explore page.
Okay.
I think that when like Chas actually invited me to one of the pods, and that really helped like not only my engagement, because I noticed once those girls were, like you said, Sierra, like once other people were posting, like a lot of my followers that have been following me for a while that never comment, like would start commenting on my
like give them permission. Like people
exactly. And like a lot of people that, because like when you're in the pod, like you follow everyone back, like everyone follows each other. I got more followers from their followers and than I did from like, I hired a social media marketer. A social media manager that like engages with people from my page, and like I got more followers just from being part of a full pod, like one full pod. So
weren't we gonna set one up? Are we still gonna do that? Should we do that still?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely down to set one up with you guys.
Cool.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely make that happen.
Okay.
How did you guys find the other pods that you're in? How do you guys find pods?
Chas.
I honestly, like every pod that I'm in, I've been asked to join. I think like, I feel like when people see that you're constantly engaging with other people, and to like part of my like hour of engagement after I post, I'll go through like just my feed, not my entire feed, but as many as I can. And on every photo, I'll like and comment something that like somebody just posted. I feel like that helps a lot, so people see that your name a lot, and I don't know like if that's why people ask me to join or not, but yeah,
I see your name everywhere.
Yeah, I've seen your name too before, and then I'm like,
I see it every single day on like, because I go down the rabbit hole because I do the Instagram engagement thing, like where you search for the hashtags and then you find a photo that you like, and then it just spirals from there, and you just keep going. But I see your name every time.
That's so funny. Yeah, I say an hour, but I typically spend like 2 hours doing that, like just straight engagement.
Okay, I have a question. I don't know if you know this or anyone can answer, but like, are you able to like do all of this from your laptop? Because obviously it's way easier to like go through people's profiles and stuff and like comment on your laptop. But like for some reason on my MacBook, like it'll block me from liking anyone's post or like commenting on anyone's post on my computer, but like on my phone it's fine.
Yeah, that's really weird. I've never tried it on the computer. I did, but I noticed that they don't have like Messenger on there. Like they don't. So I just like didn't use that because that's yeah.
All right.
So I don't know. I've heard that like a lot of people have started getting like blocked from like liking stuff, but I feel like I do it so much and I don't know how, but I've never been blocked.
I don't know.
I think when people don't return the favor, like when it's not as reciprocated, then Instagram looks at that account as more spammy.
Yeah.
So like if people are replying to your comments, that's probably why you haven't, because like you're putting time and thought into it, and it's not like you're not a bot or you're not
Right.
like a bot. Because some people will even engage and they'll still act like a bot. Like
yeah, they'll just put like emojis or something like
yeah.
for comments. They'll put like great photo or great shot or like just put like emojis. Maybe I don't know. Part of it.
I would even say like I'm just thinking of this off the top of my head, but like I do a lot of networking in like the DMs as well. And I would even say that like you could probably ask a few of your favorite accounts if they wanted to start a pod. Like Sierra and Rachel, like if you guys, I mean, we'll definitely start one too. But I'm saying because like I feel like it helps to have people outside of what we do be in a pod. Like I know that really helped when like Chas like invited me to join that one. Because like we already all know each other,
Right.
which is cool. But to really like network with other people who could even possibly like be leads one day, you know, would be like pretty productive.
Yeah. And then in the pod that we start, we could always like add girls from like the pod that me and you are in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we could get like a big group going.
Yeah. I think it's 20 max, right? In a group.
I don't know. I haven't checked the numbers, but I know that one that we're in is like completely full.
Yeah. One other thing that was from the like you guys know that I bought the Breakaway training. I think you guys know that. So I bought their training, and one of the things that Amelia went in on was using stories and being really active around the time that you post on your stories. And then also if you use your stories, like Alicia's not on here anymore, but I'm sure you guys see Alicia's stories and you notice how she like talks about when she talks about like Kangen water and stuff like that. If she talks about something like that in the morning, or you do a really engaging story post in the morning, then follow up and post something else later so that your story goes back to the beginning of the list for people to see. Because I've had people watch my entire story, and then when they see other people, again, that permission thing, so dumb, but like literally people feel like they need it. They'll see like when people reply, then they'll go back through and watch my story again and then vote. So like I've noticed that too. So
yeah. Another thing too is with like the Unum app that I was talking about earlier, it tells you like the best times to post. It shows you like it has like these little dots on like the best times, and the dots are like bigger or smaller depending on how many people are on. So I usually have like 3 big dots a day, and so I'll do what Em was talking about is like, so each time like it's like 9, 3, and 6 I think are like my big times. So at 9, 3, and 6 like I'll post something on my story, so that's when like most of my followers are online. So when I post something on my story, it'll go like back to the top again, and then like more people will see that.
that's a good idea.
Yeah, definitely get that app. Like that app is awesome. You can like plan your feed. It gives you all these like statistics and everything. So it's a really helpful app.
And that what was that website that you gave Erin to check her like stats and stuff? because I did mine too, and that shit was sick. Like,
Yeah, it gives you like so much.
yeah, that was awesome. And it's crazy because it knows that I'm in a pod.
Really?
Yeah, did it tell you that? You
No,
might
I
have
didn't. I didn't look at like everything because it has like so many different options for you to like look
Yeah.
up. I didn't look at everything, but
Ask
how
for
does
the
it know
full
you're in a
report.
pond?
Yeah, ask for the full report because like it literally told me like yeah, like your like my engagement rates is still like above average and stuff, but it's like, yeah, like you're in a pod. And this is how you know this. And it like it tells you, they tell you how they get the answers and everything, and you can put in other people's usernames as well. So like if you're following somebody that you really like admire them, or you want to, you know, just kind of use them as a case study and watch them and kind of do things that they do or whatever, you can put their username in and see how much of their profile is real. And that's also something to keep in mind with brands, because like if a brand gets a hold of this, like a marketing department at a brand or a PR firm, like they now know like how much of your profile is real. So
That's true. I didn't think about that. It's called influencermarketinghub.com.
marketing.
Oh.
Yeah, that website was really awesome. I was like so impressed.
Yeah, there's like so many things on there. It's like everything. Anything you can think of to like track on your Instagram, it's on there.
Yeah, literally.
What was it again? Sorry.
That's okay. It's influencermarketinghub.com.
Yeah, I was scared to join a pod too because I had heard that they were taking away likes and stuff, and it was like partially because people were in pods and like making it seem like people were getting more likes than they really would if they weren't in a pod and like all this stuff. So I was scared and I was like letting that play out. I don't even know if they're still doing that anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I know they did like a trial in like Canada, and I know they did it in Australia too. They took away the likes because I have some Australian friends and they said that they don't see their likes anymore. But yeah, I don't know if they're like gonna do it here or what. But
Does anyone else have any more questions?
Not with Instagram, but I have other questions, but I don't want to keep everyone not interested.
Okay. Chas, do you have anything else to add that you can think of off the bat? I think we had a pretty good like conversation and answered a lot of questions. You definitely gave a lot of value, so thank you for hopping on.
yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited. I hope to start our pod soon and see everybody's engagement skyrocket.
Yeah, I will I'll like talk to Erin tonight, and hopefully like we can like set it up tonight or tomorrow or something.
Yeah.
Everybody. But yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess that's it. I'm not really good at ending these things.
Thank you.
Wait,
Yeah.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
So sometimes I see people like they post a picture of like from when they were traveling, and then they just put something that's like totally unrelated to the picture. Like today I had a shitty day and like all this stuff, or it's like something positive. Like today I did this, and this. Like I don't know. Is that like good? I'm not good at like long captions. I'm trying to be better, but like I hate to read and I hate to read long captions. Like I just skim. But I see people doing that, and like I guess it does let people into like your life. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, is that a good idea?
I mean, I do that. Like, not all my captions are like about the photo. And I think too, like, I see a lot of accounts that will post like a travel photo and then they'll just talk about like, oh, we went here and did this, and here's some tips on if you go here. And that's like all their photos. So I definitely think it's better to stray away from that and kind of like talk about like your real life. Like yeah, or I've seen people too, like post a photo of like the beach and they'll be like, oh, like I'm sitting at home today, like wishing I was at the beach or something like that. So you can like kind of
that's what I'm kind of talking about. Like they're like, oh, today I had to work and went grocery shopping. But
yeah.
I wish I was still in Mexico. And
I think that's okay because I think like the way I look at my Instagram is it's a business portfolio for brands to like look and see like the kind of content that I create. So I don't really post like real life photos, but I think it is important to talk about like real life stuff. So it's not just like, oh, I'm living this life that's like unattainable to everybody else. Like I have normal days. Like today, I'm literally doing this and nothing else. Like I'm not going anywhere today. I'm not like doing anything. I think it's important to remind people of that, like that you are like a real person. Like you don't travel constantly. You don't like live this luxury life that the feed like may look like. Because it is a highlight reel of like our best moments. Like the photos that we post is, which I think that's totally fine. Like I don't see anything wrong with that, but like I think it is kind of like good to remind people that like you do live a normal life, you know, like you're not like, not to be like, I don't know, like you're not like special, I guess, you know, like we're all just like people, and like, yeah, you're special and you're unique in your own ways, but so is like everybody else, you know. And I think it's important to just like show that, so that you're just like everybody else.
yeah, because I definitely use my travel photos and stuff, and then like I just write like inspirational stuff and whatever like messages I want to get out there, but I use my pretty photos, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense. And that's why I like stories too, because then you like see the real person. Like
stories are
like,
definitely a lot easier to be
yeah.
on.
Yeah, that was just a random question I had, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, on my coaching calls, I always tell people, like, because people will ask, like, oh, how do you, you know, promote something that you don't do yet? Like, if you haven't made money online, how do you talk about it? Whatever. Like, people love to see, like, the work up to that. Like, people love to see the ride because it makes you more relatable. And I always tell people, like, you know, we're not some, like, unattainable Kim Kardashians. Like, we're real girls who figured out how to make money online. And I think that's why people know, like, and trust and buy from us and want to be part of our community, is because, like Chas said, like, we're real people. And I think that matters a lot when it comes to the pods, too. Like, I think that Instagram is probably blocking likes from the people who aren't genuinely networking. Like, Chas, when she, like, DMs people, and I know, like, when I DM people, too, like, I'm really trying to get to know them. I'm not just, like, engaging with them to put them in my engagement ad audience and stuff like that. Like, I'm really, like, trying to make a connection.
Right. That's what I was saying earlier. It's just, like, you're not like cultivating like a museum of like compliments. Like, you're like, make real connections with people. Like, be real. Like, don't just make this into like a benefit for you. Like, you know, make it about like other people and like actually find like getting to know them. And like I think that's like rewarding in itself.
I agree. Sierra, do you have any questions?
Nope. I think I'm good.
Okay, cool. So now are we done?
Yeah, done. I'm done.
All right. Sierra, do you want to stay on and talk about like whatever else you want to talk about?
Yeah, I don't know if you want to like stop the recording or something.
Yeah, I can stop the recording.